Title: The President's Trap, Ruto and the Fall of Matiangi. Chapter 1, The Shadows Star. Nairobi, 5:47 p.m. A soft drizzle cloaked the city in a hushed silence as State House lights flickered to life. President William Ruto sat at the far end of the mahogany conference table, flanked by intelligence chiefs and two men whose names never appeared on official records. He gazed out the window, watching the rain trace lines down the glass like ghosts of decisions past. "He's resurfing again," it said DCI Director Mwangangi, sliding a tablet forward. On it was a grainy CCTV still, Fred Matiang'i, emerging from a closed-door meeting in Kisii, flanked by former security operatives. Ruto's eyes narrowed. "I thought he'd learn to stay quiet." One of the nameless men, face sharp like broken glass, leaned in. "Sir, we believe he's building a quiet resistance. County-level mobilization, disgruntled chiefs, even foreign sympathizers." The president nodded slowly. "He's testing the waters, but let's make sure he drowns before he learns to swim." Chapter 2, The Bait. The next morning, Fred Matiang'i received an anonymous envelope slid under his hotel door. Inside was a copy of a leaked dossier titled, Operation Shieldbreaker. It detailed a covert plan to target former state officials from the Uhuru era. His name was third on the list. He knew he couldn't go to the media, it would look like paranoia. He needed allies, quiet ones. He reached out to Kanaini Kega, and later to a veteran lawyer, Martha, who had defended political detainees during the Moi era. "We'll file an anticipatory bail application," she said calmly. "But Fred, if they're serious, you'll need to disappear for a while." Fred shook his head. "If I run, they win. I'm staying." Chapter 3, The Surveillance Game. Meanwhile, Ruto's team intensified surveillance. Matiang'i's phones were tapped. Drones followed his car at night. Former friends turned into The National Intelligence Service created a synthetic voice clone of Matiang'i to fake calls, hoping he'd make a misstep and be caught discussing rebellion. But Matiang'i was cautious, too cautious. "He's hiding something," Ruto muttered during another late-night meeting. "No one's this quiet unless they're planning something big." Then came the break. One of Matiang'i's guards, recently fired for misconduct, walked into DCI headquarters and said he has a secret server. Keeps all his documents, buried in a safe house in Nyamira. Chapter 4, Operation Nightfall. March 29, 3:17 a.m. 6 black SUVs snaked their way through Kisii County under heavy fog. Inside them, elite operatives from the Special Crimes Unit and members of the elite GSU Recce Squad. The mission: apprehend Matiang'i, seize the safe house, and find the documents, proof of sedition. What they didn't know was that Matiang'i had been tipped off 2 hours earlier. He left the house with only one suitcase and disappeared into a sugarcane field with his trusted driver and a single bodyguard. By the time the operatives broke in, the house was empty. The server replaced with a Bible and a note, "You taught me the trick." Chapter 5, A public outcry. News broke at 8:15 a.m. Social media exploded. Hashtag Hands Off Matiang'i trended worldwide. International observers demanded an explanation. Ruto's press secretary stumbled through a hastily arranged statement, claiming the operation was a routine anti-corruption raid. But few believed it. Protests erupted in Kisii, Nairobi, and Mombasa. ODM leader Raila Odinga issued a statement accusing the government of weaponizing the justice system. At a press briefing, Raila looked straight into the camera. This was not about justice. This was revenge. Chapter 6, The Escape. Matiang'i was last seen near the Uganda border, escorted by a convoy of unknown vehicles. Rumors flew. Some said he had fled to Rwanda. Others claimed he was in a monastery in Bungoma. One wild story even said he was under the protection of a former general in South Sudan. Ruto, frustrated and furious, ordered the freezing of all Matiang'i's bank accounts and declared him a person of interest in matters of national security. Behind closed doors, however, there were whispers that the move had backfired. Several UDA MPs warned Ruto that going after Matiang'i too aggressively could fracture the delicate balance within government. But Ruto remained defensive. "He thinks he's a ghost," he said, pounding his fist. "But even ghosts can be exorcised." Chapter 7, The Final Twist. 3 weeks later, a video surfaced. Grainy but powerful. Matiang'i, seated on a hilltop somewhere green, said, "They wanted to jail me not for crimes, but for refusing to kneel. Let this be clear, I'm not afraid. I will return. And I will speak, not whisper." The country froze. Was this the beginning of a resistance? Or a political resurrection? As the video ended, the camera slowly panned to a tree under which Matiangi sat. On it was carved a single word, reckoning.